This may look like a pen, but it's not. It's actually a laser, the sort that's often used for teaching or giving presentations. But because it's a laser, there are very strict rules on the strength of the beam that's being sold. A powerful laser is potentially very dangerous. The power is usually indicated on the label here, but these labels are being faked, and that means lasers powerful enough to cause very serious damage to eyesight could be on sale on a high street near you.
Laser pens come in all different shapes and sizes. And when it comes to the size, they're getting bigger, more powerful and more dangerous. Johnny Marshall and his mum Angela were at a local fair when they saw one that Johnny wanted to buy.
I had been asking about this laser pen for about the last 20 minutes.
He has had laser pointers before. He's very curious. And to be honest, when we bought it, didn't really think anything of it.
Keen to play with his new gadget, Johnny powered it up the moment he got it home.
And I was shining it around, and I shone it in my eye to see how strong it was. And then about a quarter of a second later, I blinked. And then I realised this blur just came into my eye, like a purpley, bluey black spot.
Johnny thought maybe he was just a bit dazzled by the laser pen.
So I left it for 2 days to just go away, but actually it didn't. Whenever I was focusing, like maybe small writing, this blur just kept going over what I was focusing on. And I kept trying to blink it away.
But when Johnny's blurred vision didn't improve, Mum Angela phoned an optician.
I've got to come in. I said, I'll just wait. They were very, very good. They took some pictures and they said that there was a mark at the back of his eye.
They sent us straight to Moorfields Eye Hospital, where I had to get it checked with the proper computer scanner and take pictures of my eye.
The laser pen had seriously damaged Johnny's left eye.
There's a hole in his eye anyway. There will always be a hole in his eye, and that will never disappear from the laser pen.
Angela thinks that things could have been a lot worse if he hadn't been wearing glasses at the time.
The light was slightly refracted, and they believe that actually could have been what saved his eye.
If my glasses weren't that thick and strong, then I could actually have been blind.
It was millimetres away from the central vision.
Johnny now has to have regular eye examinations at Moorfields, a specialist eye hospital in London.
It's cleared up a small bit, but we're not sure if the gap will close up or if it would just stay as a small blur.
After the accident, Angela looked more closely at the laser pen, and it became clear it should never have been on sale. It was labelled as being 1 milliwatt in power, which is the legal limit for laser pens to be sold in this country. But in fact, it was much more powerful than that.
The laser was a class 3B laser. It's up to 500 milliwatts. And that's what's actually done all the damage to his eye. We're angry because it was sold on a pocket money stall, £6. And if it hadn't been faked, it would never have happened. You don't know what you're getting. They can be fake goods. And that's what the one which damaged his eye was.
Close your eyes, close your eyes.
Laser pens aren't just a danger on the ground. Since we last featured them on Fake Britain, there's been a reported spike in the number of airline pilots being temporarily blinded by increasingly powerful lasers shone into their cabins. Steve Landells was a pilot for over 2 decades. He's now flight safety specialist at BALPA, the British Airline Pilots Association. And he's concerned about the number of laser attacks on aircraft.
We've seen the number of laser attacks on UK aircraft gradually increase over the years. Last year, the Civil Aviation Authority has told us that there were over 1,400 laser illumination events on UK aircraft in the UK. Now, that's more than 4 a day.
In one recent incident, a Virgin Atlantic pilot was forced to return his New York-bound plane to Heathrow after a laser beam was shone in his eyes and caused retinal damage.
The problem is, when you shine a laser at an aircraft, not only are you breaking the law, you're endangering lives. Landing an aircraft at night is a demanding manoeuvre. If all of a sudden you end up with this bright flash in the cockpit, then you've lost your night vision. So your only option then as a pilot is to hand over control to the other pilot in the hope that they haven't been affected as badly as you have. Potentially, you're putting the lives of everyone on board that aircraft in danger.
Steve is concerned about rapid advances in laser technology.
The power of the lasers is increasing so rapidly. A few years ago, the most powerful lasers were a few hundred milliwatts, and now we're seeing lasers well over 2, 3, 4 watts, 50, 100, even 120 times more powerful, but they're still being advertised as 1 milliwatt.
Despite the nationwide crackdown on the sale of powerful laser pens, potentially dangerous fakes are still widely available for sale online.
Just going onto the internet now, here's one, a 1 milliwatt laser. It may well be 1 milliwatt, but it talks about military grade and 10 mile range. It's either one thing or the other. It's either super high powered or it's 1 milliwatt. This is a big worry. When people are buying what they think are 1 milliwatt lasers, actually getting things that are far more powerful.
Cheap lasers like this, which could appeal to children, are often more powerful than they claim to be. But it's not just the fakes Steve's concerned about. People actively seeking weapons-grade lasers are also spawned for choice. He's managed to buy a dangerously powerful laser pen online. Because it's labelled and sold as far more powerful than 1 milliwatt, it's illegal for anyone to sell this laser, but it's not illegal to carry it.
In my right hand, I have a 1 milliwatt laser. Now that is deemed by Public Health England to be a safe level of power for a laser. And this sort of thing you get in presentations, that's the sort of thing that is okay. In my left hand, I have something completely different. Now this is 2,500 times the power of that. Now this can injure someone's eye at nearly 1 kilometre. It's a weapon, and there's no need for it to be available to the public.
Steve had the laser pen tested, and the results were even worse than he thought.
The scientist who tested it said he had never seen anything quite like this. It's actually a very well-made laser, very long range, and it has no use other than as a weapon. So actually, I've disabled it by taking the battery terminals out of here, so this can never be used as a laser again. We just kept the shell to show what is available and really what shouldn't be available.
Steve's findings and his experience as an airline pilot with hundreds of passengers' lives in his hands is leading him to push for a change in the law.
So we're looking to have a law introduced that gives the police the power to stop and search, and if anyone's carrying something like that, we'd be looking for prison sentences.